Hey guys, doing a video here on my thoughts for the recent Nintendo Direct and all the announcements that were in it. Going to be a bit different from the previous video. I just got some teeth pulled, so talking kind of hurts right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and start off with 3DS games. Now, I'm going to be upfront about this. I don't own a 3DS anymore. 3DS is kind of just boring to me in general, but I should still talk about these because I think these are pretty cool announcements. They started off with WarioWare Gold, a compilation of micro games from previous WarioWare series titles. Kind of reminds me of Mario Party The Top 100, except this looks like it has charm and effort put into it, unlike the Top 100. And yeah, I'd say this, if I had a 3DS, I'd probably pick this up. Next up is Dylan's Dylan Roly Poly Boys EX Prime. I didn't catch the title of it. I'm not looking at it, sorry. But it's another Dylan's Rolling Western game. And I played the first one. I had it when I did have a 3DS, and it was fun. And this one looks like it actually ramps it up with tons of different gameplay styles and whatnot. Looks interesting. Like I said, since I don't own a 3DS, I'm not going to be picking this up, but if I had one, yeah, sure, I'd at least get the demo they have coming for it, so looks neat. Then, oh boy, no one likes Partners in Time, even Nintendo. In fact, they're just going to skip that one and remake the next game, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey? Okay, I'm going to be real. I hate the titles for these Mario and Luigi remake games, but I love Bowser's Inside Story. It's my favorite Mario and Luigi game, which is not an unpopular opinion by any means. But yeah, I'm glad they're remaking it. This game was released kind of later in the DS's lifespan, and I'm glad that it gets an extra boost of life with this one now. Probably not going to care about the Bowser Jr. part, though, because I'll be honest, that looks really boring and uninteresting. But hopefully the base game is just as good as the original. And then they showed off Detective Pikachu. I would actually love to play this game. Again, not buying a 3DS for it, but, you know, Detective Pikachu was always a weird concept until they started actually showing footage for it, and then I'm like, okay, it's kind of like Ace Attorney's investigation scenes or LA Noir's crime scene sections. Yeah, I'm down for Detective Pikachu. I'll probably either watch someone play through it or maybe borrow a system if anyone I know buys it. And finally, they ended it with a Luigi's Mansion remake? I say remake because the 3DS is weaker than a GameCube in terms of hardware power and visually, at least. So this is more of a demake more than anything. I mean, it looks nice. I mean, I would pick it up because I love Luigi's Mansion to death. But yeah, this looks nice, and I'm glad both Luigi's Mansion games are available on 3DS now. And I hope this means that Nintendo's thinking about maybe a third one in the series that is more similar to the original Luigi's Mansion. I wasn't too into Dark Moon, so I'm glad that they're remaking this as a way to introduce the classic style of its gameplay, so yeah, nice one.
Nintendo Switch.
They started out with Kirby Star Allies, free DLC, which are different playable characters from the other Kirby games. It looks kind of neat. I wasn't planning to pick up Star Allies only because I'm not super big into co-op focused games, and that seems to be the big draw for this one. Not my thing, but it doesn't look like a bad game, obviously, right? One thing I'm hoping for is that if they add Adeline, she was in Dreamland 3, but I noticed they obviously didn't show her when they mentioned Gooey from Dreamland 3. So, you know, if they do more characters later, I wouldn't mind, you know, her, because her design's pretty cute, is all I'm saying, so. And next up, they announced Okami HD. I've never played Okami, and when they announced the HD version that was coming to PS4, Xbone, and PC, I was kind of like, okay, but what if I could take this with me, right? And Capcom agrees with me. So that comes out, I believe they said this summer, and I'll be picking that up. Looks great. Then they talked about Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido, I think that's the name. They announced this last year at E3 during their like live gameplay segment, and it was announced only for 3DS. So today was the announcement that there's also a Switch version, and it's kind of like seems like a puzzle action game, but I'm not really into puzzle games. But this game does look really fun. It has cute cutscenes that are pretty well animated, honestly. I could see this doing pretty well, but because of the puzzle element, I'm probably not going to pick it up. If they have a demo of something, I'd love to try it out and see if I like it. But yeah, Sushi Striker looks neat. Then they moved on to Octopath Traveler. That is now the official name, which I don't know what the point of project was until now, but sure, okay. I'll be honest, I've not been super impressed with this game. Then again, I never grew up with SNES RPGs, so that's probably why the art style doesn't appeal to me. It looks great, don't get me wrong, but having this sort of like return to classic form but slightly modernized, it doesn't really appeal to me in the same way. But it doesn't look like a bad game. It looks very interesting, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Maybe a later trailer will impress me more. I tried the demo and I wasn't too into it, but you know, we'll see. Looks nice. Next was Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Now, I love No More Heroes, and I never played the second one, unfortunately, which I hear is way better. And the announcement of Travis Strikes Again, both at the initial January announcement from 2017 and the indie showcase follow-up they did, I was very much excited for this game. But now that I've seen gameplay of it, I'm a little less excited. It looks fun, but I know they said it's not No More Heroes 3, but it doesn't really look like No More Heroes. I don't know. I'm probably gonna try it out at least. It doesn't look like a bad game, but it kind of wasn't what I was hoping for. And I'm hoping to see more from the game, and maybe it'll impress me a bit more later. Dark Souls Remastered. I never played Dark Souls 1. I played a little bit, and I mean a very little bit, of Dark Souls 2. I played through a very little bit of Dark Souls 3, and I love Bloodborne. So, a Dark Souls Remastered. Okay, that's my jam. I'll get into it. And especially on the Switch. And it has a damn amiibo to go with it. That's hilarious to me. And the amiibo makes you do the praise the sun meme or whatever. Haha. I'm picking up Dark Souls Remastered no matter what. Just because I never really played much of Dark Souls, and then I fell in love with Bloodborne, so it's like, okay, yeah, I'll go try out one of the first ones in the series. So yeah, definitely gonna give this one a shot. Okay, Mario Tennis Aces. I'll be real. I've hated most of the Mario Sports spin-offs since the GameCube era ended. Meaning Wii and Wii U was not into those games, especially Mario Tennis on the Wii U. So Mario Tennis Aces is really impressing me so far, and of course, it's got my baby in there. It's got Rosalina, which is all I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play any other character. And they announced that there's gonna be a base character roster of 15, and that there will be more added with like online tournaments, I guess, because they teased Koopa Troopa as like a character for participating in a tournament, which is neat. It's a good way to get people online, I guess, right? So yeah, I'm all down for Aces. I was already gonna buy it, and now this only further cemented it with the. I like the idea that they introduced all these like sort of gimmick shots that you can do in the game, which was sort of introduced in the 3DS one. But in the 3DS one, it wasn't, I don't know, the game didn't even have charm to begin with, so it wasn't really fun. But this one looks like it's much more fleshed out, and I'm totally down for it. And they even clearly specified you can turn this stuff off, which I'm super excited for, because it's like sometimes, you know, you just want to play a simple match. You don't want crazy shit flying all over the place. And I'm glad Nintendo's giving that option, right? So yeah, Mario Tennis Aces, we in there. Okay, so Captain Toad Treasure Tracker coming to Switch and 3DS. That's really interesting that they're bringing it to both, and they're adding content to it, which is even crazier to me. This isn't just a simple port job. They're actually adding a lot of stuff to it, apparently. So I'm gonna pick it up this time for Switch. I never had it on Wii U, so this will be good to have portably, and I can sort of have it as like a time waster, like do a level here, do a level there kind of thing. So yeah, I might actually pick this one up. Now, this is honestly one of the, it seemed pretty low key, at least to me on Twitter. Undertale is coming to Switch. I thought it would eventually. Once it hit PS4 and Vita, I'm kind of like, okay, when are the other versions coming? I played Undertale on PC well after it came out and after all the hype for it died down. And I played through it once and I enjoyed my time with it. It's a very funny game. It's enjoyable. I see where a lot of the love for it comes from. So yeah, I might actually pick this one up on Switch to play through it again, because I definitely had a good time with it. Oh boy, the Crash Insane Trilogy. I'll be real, I never played Crash as a kid, or growing up. I never played the original games. I played a lot of the racing game, but other than that, I never played Crash. So I picked up the Insane Trilogy last year for PS4, and I really don't like the Insane Trilogy. It feels gross, it feels clunky, the physics don't feel right to me, so I won't be picking up the Switch version, but I am happy to see it coming over. To see Nintendo fans finally get a chance to try out Crash Bandicoot is really awesome, and I hope more people play it, because Crash is a fun series, I'm sure. It's just the Insane Trilogy didn't do it for me, but yeah, it's nice to see. And then they mentioned a small Bandai Namco game, Little Nightmares Complete Edition. I watched Scary Game Squad play through Little Nightmares, and it looks like a neat game. Personally, I'm not too interested in it, mostly because I watched the playthrough and I kind of felt like, okay, yep, I got the experience out of it that it doesn't really require I play it. So, but it does look nice, and I'm glad people are gonna try it out on Switch. It even comes with all the DLC, which is nice. So yeah. Okay, South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I'll be real. Like with Crash Bandicoot, I never got into South Park. I think I saw one of the movies, Imagination Land, I think it was called. That's my only experience with South Park, and I saw that movie when it was like new. So I have no connection to South Park or its humor or its characters. So I'm probably not going to pick up this game because I have no attachment to it. But I'm glad to see it coming to Switch. I was always kind of surprised it wasn't on Switch to begin with, but it's nice to see it back. And I'm sure they're probably going to bring the first South Park game, Stick of Truth. They're probably going to port that over, I'm sure. That wasn't confirmed in a director, and that's just my speculation. But, you know, more games, always a good time. So, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I am not into the Warriors games at all, but if you slap a Zelda skin on it, it shuts me up. So that's good enough for me, especially since this is combining the Wii U and 3DS versions. I owned it on Wii U and enjoyed it, and got some of the DLC, not all of it. And then I sure as shit didn't pick up the 3DS version because that looked and ran like crap. So I'm glad that the Switch version is combining the two, and I'm hoping that the story content added in the 3DS version makes its way over. That'd be nice to experience as well. I'll definitely be picking this one up. I would enjoy a Warriors game on the go with an aesthetic that I can get behind. So, yeah. Okay, and the ARMS Online Open, I think they called it. It looks like it's just an online tournament for ARMS. And then they also announced that there's like a mini test punch, or global test punch, I think they called it. where people can download essentially a demo of the game and try it out for a couple days. It looks nice. I tried the demo for ARMS when they did one before it launched last year, and I like the aesthetic of ARMS and I like watching ARMS, but I'm not good at it and I don't feel the need to get good at it, so I'll just skip this one. But I'm glad that ARMS people are still getting support from Nintendo with like new content and online tournaments. That's really cool. Now this was a pretty big one. Splatoon 2 3.0 and the Octo expansion. The Splatoon 2 3.0 update adds like 100 new gear, they said, and weapons and all that. That's awesome. And it's totally free. Hell yeah. I'll be downloading that obviously when it's available. But the biggest surprise was that, well, I got not really a surprise. People did kind of say it was bound to happen eventually. Splatoon 2 is getting paid DLC, the Octo expansion, which adds 80 new single-player levels, I think, and beating that allows you to play as an Octoling in online matches. That's really cool. I'm definitely gonna pick that up and give Splatoon 2 a shot. I played it for about a month or two after it launched, and then I just kind of fell off the wayside with other games. So this would actually be a good chance for me to jump back in and try out all the stuff I've been missing up until now. So yeah, definitely excited for this one. And that's the Nintendo Direct, and my thoughts on it. I'd love to know what you guys thought of it. Let me know. I'd be interested in having a discussion with you dudes in the comments. And I'm sorry about the minimal editing and whatnot. Like I said, my mouth is killing me after getting teeth pulled, but future videos will be more heavily edited like my review was. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one, dudes.